That process you were talking about, how the body makes glucose, you're speaking of gluconeogenesis.
Yes.
That process is where it is kind of reversing the taking the stuff that's in the molecules that are in storage, that's mostly the proteins, like you're saying, our skeletal muscle, and processing that through the liver to make glucose. So you're robbing Peter to pay Paul in that respect.
Yes.
And you're putting stress on the liver, which if you're somebody that is pretty thick into their disease state, the liver probably isn't very happy to begin with because it has to filter through everything.
Mhm.
So you likely, I'm just making a patient example of somebody that has been going to their primary care doctor for decades and they got hypertension, they've got diabetes or high cholesterol, or, any, those are metabolic, all three of them together is metabolic syndrome. So they're on a number of medications. Maybe they have medications for other things, thyroid, migraine, arthritis. These are all being processed through the liver already. And then you're going to put yourself into a state where you have to steal your proteins from your body to reverse engineer it into glucose through the liver, putting more stress on an organ that is working overtime. I feel like that is one of the most common things that occurs when we see the side effects, when we see someone say, "Oh, fasting is dangerous."
Yes.
That's usually the person that proves that point.
Exactly. They were the ones that were exercising. They were pushing their body, and their body wasn't able to keep up with their demand. And then another thing too, we didn't talk about was the refeeding too. So once they break their fast, like, are they continue doing all these extensive activities that are going to, be at high risk for them? Or are they going to just do that one huge event? Like, let's go back to those weightlifters doing 400 pounds. Are they going to break their fast like that day or the next day, that they're still able to try to get some glucose back in their body, right?
Someone in that case, the weightlifter it would be a good idea to have a personal trainer that is adept with that knowledge of touch on refeeding, on prepping into and coming out of a fast when it comes to their bodybuilding. I do the same thing with my patients of prepping them going into and out of fasts based on their condition with the cancer and where they're at with their chemotherapy.